taking over. And certain moves, let instinct choose their every move to leave us cornered. I know it's true. Our sweat and blood and armored skirts, crimson storybook pretty soldiers. As we grow, there's nothing worth bow and arrow in hand. Stand up, follow orders. How cruel have we become to know what we have done tomorrow? Another one, dear, you're not here. We watch them leave our home. We embrace steel, and now we know that we have control and free our souls. Gay sharp blades, wise and How cruel have I become to know what I have done tomorrow? Another one, dear, you're not here. And how we feel, no one can know. Identical, our virtues close and personal. So we have control. Take my soul. Release my pain when handed I'll be your leader to the other side. Now we inclined to die. Like us, I've come to find are seldom blind to life's many horrors. In strength they trust and keep in mind the people lost and left behind. Your Gay sharp blades, wise and Mister of blades, take my soul. Release my pain when handed It's just a game, not a
Okay. Good morning / afternoon / evening, everybody, and welcome back to our continuing coverage of NSL Season 12. We are currently in round 2 of the upper bracket of the playoffs today. Usually, we'd go by weeks, but now that it's a bracket, we go by rounds. So let me quickly show you the bracket in question. So, our match today is going to be this one, AEG versus Undefined CMG. So Undefined CMG qualified from a golden ticket, placing 4th in the previous season. They then won last week's match 3-1 against Crispy Clean Esports to make it to round 2 of the undefeated bracket. AEG, on the other hand, qualified through the rigorous group stage that we just did and have defeated bronze finisher Stormbreaker TCF to make it to this same match. The winner of this match today will move on to the undefeated semifinals against either Wii Sports or No Mercy, the victor of whom will be decided tomorrow, while the loser will fall down to the elimination bracket to face off against Enosis next week. Well, actually, not next week. You see, the league admins have all unanimously decided that due to the incoming holiday, it's not going to be worth it to have matches happen because, well, no admins are going to be available to referee, no one's going to be able to stream, so there's really no point. So the league is actually going to be paused next week, and we will resume coverage the following week, the week of New Year's. So I believe this might be either the last or the second to last NSL broadcast in 2025. So just a little bit of an update there. Also, I have a little bit more intel into AEG now. I did some research on Twitter.com and found out that they're actually a really good team in other leagues. The team manager just decided to referee. So yeah, we are just getting started now with the match. We're going to have our usual 5-set format. So starting off with a 2v2 best of 3, followed then by a 3v3 best of 1 duel, CRL style. Then a 3v3 best of 1 meta draft, the most controversial of the sets. Then a 3v3 reverse Chain of the Hill. And finally, a 1v1 best of 5. So a lot of team-oriented sets today, just trying to really emphasize the teams component of our teams-based league. So that's the explanation here. So we are getting started now with the 2v2 set. So both teams now have about 3 minutes to send their lineups and their bans. Each team also gets 1 global ban for this set. And then we can get underway. So hopefully we shouldn't delay too much longer. The entire match duration should take anywhere from this point between an hour and a half, we hope. If everything goes according to plan, we're going to try our best to keep everybody going fast and efficiently. AEG is going to be sending out a Siphon Safe, and they're banning Tornado, it looks like. Tornado, a very good ban. Tornado is one of the most oppressive cards in 2v2, synergizes really well with stuff like Executioner, Firecracker, any spell, Rocket, particularly. So it's probably a good idea to go ahead and ban that. Meanwhile, it looks like Undefined will be running Wrath and Mortar Royale. And they're going to ban RG, Royal Giant. So Tornado and Royal Giant are banned for this set. For the entire match, all of the newly released heroes will be globally banned. But double champions are allowed. So I just went ahead and sent a reminder of just that into the Match Clan chat. Also, in case you're wondering, yes, the background is different this week, as I'm in a new location. I am actually back in my childhood home for the Christmas holiday, meaning my availability for broadcasts such as these are absolute dog shit. But we try our best. Furthermore, if you see any lag or any audio issues, I'm on a completely different setup this time around. So, please bear with me. I'll be back to my usual setup in a couple of weeks, but for now, this is what we got. It's pissing rain outside, and everything is awful. Hooray. Alright. And the match request is out, so we should be getting underway relatively soon. Just gotta wait for AEG to accept the battle request. And then we will get going with round 1 of the 2v2 set. And in the interest of time today, I will be pretty strict with the stopwatch, just so you know. Scythe is in, just waiting on Seath. Yeah, Hawaii in the winter, just piss and rain all the time. That's how it goes. Also, just so you know, I am keeping a close eye on the chat today. Just because I value any and all contributions to the destruction of these matches. Also, yes, as a little side project, I probably will start taking some of these old stream VODs and cutting them down to size. Alright, and we are finally into game number 1. It's going to be Mortal Royale and Raph for Undefined on the bottom of your screen, and Safe and Scythe, the usual duo, for AEG on the bottom of your screen. Double Lava Hound coming out for Safe and Scythe, a little bit of a miscommunication. And from the looks of the counterplay, it looks like we might have a bit of a mirror match going on here. Almost entirely. Wow. Perfectly synchronized gameplay so far. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of game lag at first. It'll figure itself out later on, I hope. Good lightning coming out from Mortal Royale. But Undefined still taking heavy damage on both towers. So WoW coming out from Undefined. They're going to get 3 crowned in the first minute of the game. Not a good start for Undefined, not at all. As Safe and Scythe take the first point of the match. Nope. There we go. So yeah, a bit of a really bad start for Undefined. Just not having the defense they needed. Here's a look at their decks from the previous game, by the way. With Undefined running Spirit Empress Cycle with only one person running Lava. Meanwhile, Safe and Scythe running 2 complementary Lava decks, both with win conditions and balloons and everything, but we didn't even need to see half of these decks. Because the game immediately ended. Wow. Absolute domination from AEG in that first game. Absolutely shocking. But still have plenty of time to turn it around. As it's only set number 1, and we have a long format ahead of us for today. And yeah, pardon me if I'm not fully paying attention to what's going on with the stream, as I am also refereeing the game. So I also have to keep track of the time. So please just bear with me. My attention is very divided today. I also have the notebook so I can write down lineups so I don't get lost. So at 21 minutes broadcast time. Hello? Okay, cool. So at exactly 21 minutes broadcast time, it will be time's up. Just waiting on Safe this time to hop on in, and then we can start with game number 2. Hopefully it'll be a little longer than game number 1, because game number 1 was so fast. So yeah, still just waiting for AEG to hop on in. They're probably fundamentally changing their decks, coordinating, maybe even sniping. We don't like sniping. That's why we have such a strict time limit. AEG probably wondering, is Mortar and Raft gonna run lava again? Are they gonna do something completely different? Remember, NATO and Royal Giant are both banned, so we might start seeing some drill gameplay. Or minor. But we're about to see. This is game number 2 with Mortar Royale and Raft once again for Undefined at the bottom of your screen. Safe and safe for AEG on the top. That noise jump scared me. And as expected, this time we're seeing some drill gameplay from Undefined. AEG opting to stick with Lava Loon, it looks like. From a purely matchup perspective, Undefined actually has a bit of an advantage in this game. Drill has more consistent damage than Lava Hound. But we'll see. Lava does connect on tower. Inferno Dragon coming out to ensure that the Phoenix cannot connect on the Lava Hound, and double Snowball from Undefined. A bit of a miscommunication on them, gonna prove a little problematic, especially with these Lava Pups going on tower. Rocket missing the balloon, a total Chief Pat incident from Mortar Royale here. A huge oopsie. Gonna end up with Undefined once again down a tower in the first minute of the match. Not a situation you want to be in, especially when you're already down a point in the set. It's already set point for AEG, and it's looking like they are very close to just fully taking it. 2 drills now coming down, one on each side, hoping to catch an elixir overspend on defense. AEG doing a good job of taking care of all of that. Monk is down, Monk is taken out by the Dark Prince. Dark Prince gonna make a run for the tower, and he's going to get one hit before falling. As AEG's lead gets ever wider. Now Undefined has only 1 minute to take an entire tower, or else the set is gonna go to AEG. There goes a center rocket, this time gonna hit both of its targets. Miner coming out to defend the guards. AEG no longer has to attack, all they have to do is defend for 37 seconds. Not hard against Drill. I said Drill gets consistent damage, but the damage is slow. As Lava Hound, one good push and you're set. So even though Undefined might have had a little bit of a pure theoretical advantage from a matchup perspective, AEG just played that so much better. Caught Undefined with their pants down, Undefined missing a critical rocket, double playing a snowball. And those are the kind of mistakes that'll end up costing you. As AEG takes the set. First set goes to AEG. Well, now we are going to be transitioning into set number 2, which is the 3 versus 3 best of 1 duels. What this means is that it's a duel set, like CRL, so no card repeats, but it's 3v3, so 3 different people, 3 different matchups, and no card repeats between games. That's the key difference here. Okay, somebody is botting me, so I'm gonna go ahead and ban their ass. Cool, I love moderating my chat. So yeah, now we're just gonna wait 3 minutes for lineups to be sent for the duel set. Meanwhile, going into analysis mode here. I want to show you the critical moment where everything went wrong. Right here. There goes the rocket, it missed, and just like that, the game was lost. Okay, so now the lineups for set 2 are coming out. For Undefined, it's going to be Stephen, Ares, and Rookie. Meanwhile, for AEG, it's going to be Safe for the second and last time. It's going to be Steve, and Scythe. Game 1, it's going to be oh yeah, for game 1 it's going to be Stephen versus Safe. For game 2 it's going to be Ares versus Steve. And for game 3 it's going to be Rookie versus Scythe. And for this set, AEG will be sending a request to keep it fair. So they have about a little over a minute and so. And change left to request. No, I don't care about Clan Wars, thank you. Alright, this is now the first game of the 3v3 best of 1 duel set. It's going to be Safe for AEG on the bottom of your screen, and Stephen for Undefined at the top. So it's going to be interesting to see what cards are going to be used up here. Both players opting to not do anything for the first at least a minute, maybe longer. If they're both winning beatdown, we're gonna have to wait until double elixir before anyone chooses to play anything. Ever. Which is fine. That's a good way to go about life. Patient. 15 elixir leaked and the counting. So your matchups are going to be Scythe versus Stephen, Steve versus Ares, and Safe versus Rookie if it gets that far. First team to get 2 points in this set will clinch it. So we'll see if Safe can keep AEG's momentum going. As so far nothing is happening, which means both of them are probably running beatdown. Or graveyard, but beatdown is more likely. I thought this kind of gameplay would have been disincentivized once EVOs came out, but I guess I was wrong. What do I know, right? What do I know? 17 seconds remaining in single elixir. Five seconds. And then the gameplay will hopefully begin. And just like that, At 60 seconds on the dot, the cards start flying. Furnace comes out for Stephen for Undefined. Golden Knight in response. Okay, now here comes a Berserker. Yep, E-Giant coming out for safe. That'll be the win condition of the day. Golden Knight ability getting a little bit of value, but not enough. Giant does not reach its destination. As another Valkyrie comes out, this time for Graveyard, so it's not going to be beat down for Steven. Ooh, a good Vines by Stephen allows this Graveyard to get some remarkable damage on Safe's tower, putting him in the lead going into overtime. Alright, Safe leaving until just the right moment to deploy that Lightning, taking out that Evo Furnace for a -2 trade, but gets some tower damage in the process, so it's okay. Ooh, some good value from that Golden Knight ability. Goblin Hut goes behind the tower, probably to defend against any graveyards. Tornado coming in, pull the Valkyrie into the kill zone so that no graveyard can come out. A good proactive play by Safe. Now there goes the Baby Dragon. Probably predicting a graveyard, but it gets locked on to the Valkyrie. Graveyard Poison getting a little bit more damage on Safe's tower. With only a minute 10 left in this game, it's going to be an uphill battle for Safe to try and get some damage back. Stephen having a clear matchup advantage. 60 seconds now, triple elixir. This is Beatdown's time to shine. Here comes the Evo Baby Dragon, recently nerfed by the way, so not as good. Lightning coming out. Berserker's gonna come out to Lightning block against that Goblin Hut. A very good play by Stephen. He knew the Lightning was coming, put that Berserker down to protect that Goblin Hut and not let that E-Giant get any closer to the tower. Stephen now just focusing on his defense, knowing full well that offense at this point is unnecessary. And this is also probably Safe's last chance to really make a push, as after this point it's probably going to be too late to do anything. Tornado coming out just trying to make something happen, trying to make that Golden Knight connect to the tower, not happening. Valkyrie plays just right, but the E-Giant, ooh, just barely prevented by the, oh my gosh, but that lightning, oh my gosh, the Golden Knight at the last second pulled it back for Safe, and a very close buzzer beater finish for Safe, ultimately giving him the point and pushing AEG further ahead. Wow, that was a very good ending to that game. So now we're going to be moving on to game number 2 here. Steve versus Ares, and Steve is going to have about 2 minutes to send that battle request. While we're waiting for them to get their decks ready, I just want to show a quick replay of that ending, because that was crazy. I'm going to go till about 10 seconds prior to the finish. There goes the Golden Knight on the tower. 1463, dash 1128, and that's it. A very clutch finish. Wow. Now AEG slightly ahead. As we wait for Ares to accept the battle request. So overall, a pretty good game for AEG. Hello, Sposy. Welcome to the YouTube chat. Hope you're having a good day so far. So yeah, we are in game 2 of the 3v3 best one duel set. And we're getting started right now. This time it's going to be Steve for AEG on the bottom of your screen versus Ares for Undefined at the top. Steve in the last game ran E-Giant beatdown. That was safe, and he pulled ahead just so slightly at the very last second. And in the previous game, Stephen ran that Toxic Furnace Graveyard deck, so that's out now too. This time around, it looks like Ares is going to be running a more traditional Giant deck. You know it's not going to be Giant Graveyard, as his teammate used up Graveyard, so it's going to be more of a traditional Giant Beatdown. I want to say maybe even Giant Ram Rider, if I had to guess. Meanwhile, Steve running a more traditional Fireball Bait deck, it looks like, with the Royal Hogs. So yeah, fun times overall. Another Zap coming out to cycle for Ares, trying to get that evolution ready. Also, yeah, sorry for the poor audio quality. I'm in a very different setup for the next couple weeks. Archer Queen now coming out for Steve, so it's going to be a very typical Page Queen Fireball Bait kind of deck. You know, it looks like Giant Double Prince, maybe? The Dark Prince is... I don't know. So Giant gonna slowly approach that tower. Ice Spirit gonna stop it from connecting as the Evo Pidgeys come out. Evo Zap gonna stop them for the most part. Gonna connect quite a bit more on the right hand side, not quite stopping him. Steve now in a bit of a good spot. Guards have to come out to block that Lumberjack. Ice Spirit comes out just a tile to forward, allowing that Mega Minion to get one hit on the tower, putting Ares back in the lead for Undefined. As it looks like Rookie and Scythe might have to play after all. And now here comes a cannon. Guards do not pull the Prince. Queen will die. Lumber goes down, but now everything's gonna be raged. Evo Cannon perfectly placed to take everything out, only taking one Mega Minion hit in return. But Steve now has to break through again. Probably needs to cycle his Pidgeys, get back to Evos. That's the only way he's realistically gonna connect in this matchup. Delivery coming down just in time. Cannon getting cycled and gonna take out that Giant just fine. Perfect log to counter, and that push is gone. Pidgeys can come out in a 3-1 split towards the left. Prince will die to the Queen. Bomber will survive. Pidgeys did a lot of damage on that left, bringing the left-hand tower down to 1531. Plus an Earthquake for some extra damage is going to put Steve back into the damage lead ever so slightly. Now with only 90 seconds remaining in sudden death. But now you have to worry because there's an Evo Lumberjack on the field for Ares that's going to take out everything in its rage radius once he goes down, which happens now. Perfectly defended though. However, some residual chip damage ended up hurting Steve's right-hand tower, but Steve's just going to take it right on back with those Pidgeys. Fireball plus Evo Zap Queen will go down. Only 45 seconds remaining. It's triple elixir. Evo Pidgeys now on the left. Fireball and Zap were both used up. Cycles back to Fireball, but that tower is so low. 2 HP is the difference between these two players right now. Zap gonna put Ares back in the lead. Earthquake gonna put Steve back in the lead. This next push, whoever's successful with their final push will clinch the victory. Big Earthquake coming out for Steve. Earthquake gonna bring it down to 76. Another Pidgeys comes out. Just needs to cycle to one more spell. Here comes the log. 35 HP remaining. Fireball needs to come out, but not fast enough. Earthquake will take it to Steve, as AEG will win set number 2. What a very close game overall. As we now move on to the most controversial set, Mega Draft. So now I'm gonna referee and set up set number 3 real quick for these guys. And also send out the customary timeout reminder. So for Undefined, set number 3, the lineup will be Raph, Pika, and Stephen for the second and last time. For AEG, Safe is completely used up. There is a maximum of 2 sets for each team. Just as a bit of a reminder. Meanwhile, for AEG, it's going to be Marco, Victor, and Dieguito. So, game 1 is going to be Raph versus Marco. So yeah, Mega Drafted, there's no real deck building beforehand, so we're not going to speculate what decks each player is going to run. Instead, they're going to build it live in front of you, as is the nature of Mega Draft. So yeah, happy fun times. I got a ping in the Discord. So yeah, I'm just gonna answer a question real quick. Alright, so at 43 minutes and 12 seconds stream time, they're gonna time out. Yeah, sorry. Refereeing and casting. Stressful dichotomy here. But what are you gonna do, right? Just waiting. Waiting is fun. We love waiting. Waiting is so great. Waiting is for everyone. Ooh, my bitrate is taking a shit. Okay. Sir, wrong format. Alright, Raph sent the request, waiting for Marco to accept. Raph was exactly 12 seconds away from timing out, by the way. And if he did time out, that would have been a win for Undefined, or for AEG. But here we go. This is going to be game 1 of the 3v3 best of 1 Mega Draft set. It's going to be Raph for Undefined at the bottom of your screen, and Marco for AEG on the top. Raph immediately choosing a Barbarian Barrel. It's always a good idea to pick a utility spell first. Get the most useful stuff you can before your opponent takes it. Now Raph having to decide what counters Fisherman and Monk, probably aiming for that RG Marco is. And take Lightning, a good spell to counter both of those cards. If Raph wanted to be funny, he'd take the Royal Giant from Marco now. Is Raph funny? Let's find out. Instead went for the Mighty Miner, a pretty good counter to Royal Giant, all things considered. Here comes the Rage now for Marco and the Goblins, continuing to build a pretty good RG deck overall. Now it's Raph's turn to pick 2 more cards from the pile. What's he gonna pick? Lots of good options. I see a Poison, I see Delivery, Bomb Tower. Good to have a building. Always good to have a building. Especially a high HP one when you're thinking you're gonna go against RG. Goblin Barrel? Okay. Raph not only building around the eventual RG, but also building his own Logbait deck, it looks like. I see a Dark Goblin on the pool that'll probably get picked. Maybe Rascals too. Maybe the Poison, if I were to be so daring. All very good options for Raph at this point. Although there is no log in the pool. So also having to bait around the Delivery and the Rage instead. E-Barbs being the pick for Raph. A bit out of left field, but I guess it's another good anti-tank option. We don't have to worry too much about air defense here. There aren't very many air cards, and win conditions are already chosen, so you're not going to see the Lava Hound getting picked. If somebody did pick the Lava Hound, I'd think they're insane. But what do we know? It's a free country. Raph finishing out his deck with a Musketeer, a good overall pick. Very well-rounded card. And what's Marco's final card gonna be? Maybe another spell, maybe another tank killer. Heal Spirit, also very complementary to an RG deck. So overall, very good picks by both players. And we're gonna see Berserker come out first for Raph, Fisherman to counter, Mighty Miner to counter that, and we quickly see the Monk coming out, disincentivizing any projectile-based cards. But Raph laughs in the face of that Monk. I see why. Alright, and for once we actually see the Barbarian Barrel nerf making a difference. Marco doing anything and everything to keep that Dark Goblin alive, a very annoying card, forcing out even more Elixir. Marco very much ahead in overall Elixir so far this game. Here comes the first Goblin Barrel for Raph. Gonna be quickly stopped, but gets a little bit of damage. Not too much, not too little. Go to E-Barbs by Raph at the last second, and this time the barrel will actually take out the Dark Goblin, but that entire little push is going to be quickly decimated by the Delivery. All things considered, it looks like Marco has a bit of an advantage. We're not seeing the win condition come out just yet. Here it comes. Bomb Tower gonna come out. That Berserker placement allowed for the successful use of a Heal Spirit, actually making a difference this time, allowing that RG to get 2 hits on the tower. And now there is 1 minute remaining in regulation time. Here comes a Royal Delivery. Quickly take out a lot of stuff. And the Heal Spirit, once again, gonna keep that KudO alive. Not for too long, though. Ooh, that Heal Spirit is gonna completely negate that Barbarian Barrel. Dark Goblins can be very, very annoying. As Moto now protects it further from all projectiles, that Muster 2 will die on its own projectiles. The second Barbarian Girl comes up with the same Dark Goblin. That Heal Spirit actually making a world of difference. It usually doesn't, so that's a bit crazy. Ugh, gosh, yeah. When the Dark Goblin is so annoying you need to throw an entire lightning at it, you know it's bad when that happens. Marco now doing a very good job. Monk ability just comes a second too late. This Barbarian Girl is connect. Goblin Barrel now gonna get stopped by that delivery just in time. Marco was playing exceptionally well today. We're gonna see that ability come out and the Musketeer will fall. Over E-Barbs, just trying to clear out that bridge battle. Dark Goblin coming out. Heal Spirit does proc. Ooh, that back barrel not gonna get any additional value. RG comes out, we're gonna see a bomb tower. Here it comes, and we might even see a defensive lightning come out the wrap. No, we're not. Everything just clears it out just fine. 40 seconds remaining, we're in triple elixir. And Marco is ahead by about 1,000 damage. So pending any changes to the current status quo, AEG is very likely to score the first point in this set as well, putting Undefined in a lot of trouble. Luckily for Undefined though, this is not an elimination match. Should they fall 3-0 today, they'll still have further opportunities to continue in the bracket. And time's up, Raph falls to the tiebreaker as Marco takes the first point of meta draft. Such good gameplay by Marco. I guess the game doesn't want me to say Pikachu. I guess it just censored my message, but that's okay. As very quickly we get now into game number 2. It's going to be Pikachu for Undefined at the bottom of your screen, and Victor for AEG on the top, and it's going to be match point for AEG, may I remind you. So a lot riding on this Meta Draft game. Pikachu has to win to keep Undefined in the game at all. So a lot of pressure on Pikachu to draft things properly. Immediately, it looks like Pikachu is going to be eyeballing maybe that drill, I want to speculate. Victor running Void, a very interesting pick. Void isn't usually used ever, for the most part. But they seem to be building a pretty decent deck. I almost wonder if they're gunning for the Ram Rider. Meanwhile, Pikachu continuing to assemble what looks to be a Fireball bait, but there's no Fireball, so maybe Rocket bait? I don't know. The Fireball bait archetype doesn't really work when Fireball's not in the deck pool, not gonna lie to you. Meanwhile, Victor continuing to draft, I think it's a Ram Rider deck that they're gonna try and go for. I'm not entirely sure though. Ooh, Pikachu hitting the Rocket. And the Inferno Dragon. Homemade decks across the board, it looks like, and win conditions will be saved for the last pick. Alright, Knight and Victor gonna go for the Ice Golem, probably a random pick because the time ran out. The Peanut Gallery, a little skeptical about that. And Pikachulo finally revealing he was going for a minor rocket death this whole time. Screw what I was saying. What? That was weird. Okay. And Victor running for one of those no win condition decks. Boss Bandit probably is the win condition. The real win condition is the friends we met along the way. Pikachulo immediately starting with a Furnace in the back. Once again, to remind you of the stakes. If Pikachulo wins this game, we carry on. If Victor wins this game, it's over, and AEG will move on to the final match of the undefeated bracket. Not an elimination match, but still, a 50-50 shot at the finals is a good thing to gun for. And also, I think the winner of this game is all but guaranteed a spot on the top 4 podium. We're not doing golden tickets for the top 4 this season, as we found that for the low amount of teams that sign up for these leagues anymore, giving out an entire 4 tickets doesn't really make sense anymore, so we're only, I think, going to invite the winner back. But still, being on the podium's a good thing. Bragging rights. And you get a seat in our Hall of Fame. It's always a good thing to have. Boss Bandit gonna do a good job defending against that Furnace. Goblins to defend, Log to take out the Dark Goblin. Pikachulo apparently drafting very well against Victor. Out of necessity, may I remind you. Zappy's going to do a good job at winning a bridge battle. Rocket to incapacitate the cannon cart. Overall, some pretty good gameplay by Pikachulo. Again, this is semi-pro. There's no expectation that these players are going to play at a fully professional level. It just so happens that the teams who make it to playoffs are exceptional. Boss Bandit going to take out the miner. Victor has yet to connect to Pikachulo's tower once. Pikachulo's defense unmatched. Every time it's the same predictable stuff. Victor also failing to draft any direct tower damage of his own. So I think I'm going to prematurely call it for Pikachulo. Stephen and Diaguito are on deck, so they're going to have to get ready to play should Pikachulo actually clinch this one. Boss Bandit does finally connect to the tower on the right hand side. Cannon card placement's no longer going to gain any rocket value for Pikachulo. Miner on defense this time. Card going to be taken out by a Dark Prince instead, assisted by the Furnace. Pikachulo saving onto that rocket. Or spamming later. Or now. Bit of a wasted Boss Bandit ability, if you ask me. And And with only 30 seconds remaining, Victor is not going to be able to break through anytime soon. That boss bandit ability is just going to undo all of that progress. With only 10 seconds remaining, there's no way for Victor to catch up at this point. As Pikachu takes Undefined's first point of the match. As we move on to game number 3. So now the question has to be asked, is this the start of a generational comeback by Undefined, or will AEG put it away here? What? Okay, so the wrong person accepted the game, so we're gonna figure this out. So now I gotta do my roster thing. And the account that accepted isn't on either roster, so what? Need to see AEG's roster. 1 second, y'all. Just what the heck is this? What is happening? I think AEG is one of the first to sign up here. Yeah, no, he's not on either team. What the heck? Oh yeah, sorry for being silent for a minute there. But yeah, an unaffiliated account. So yeah, this account called Ismail somehow got into the clan and accepted the game, even though he's not affiliated with either team in any way. I don't know who the heck he is. And because he's completely unaffiliated and he accepted Stephen's request, it's going to be a game repeat once Stephen escapes from Metadraft Hacky Darn Land. So yeah, this Ismail guy will be sanctioned since apparently he's a coach at Wii Sports, as I'm just learning. So that's fun. I actually have to do my job as a league admin. Ew. Gross. So I guess we're going to be taking a little bit of a break here while we wait for that to end. Good grief. Yeah, Stephen, of course, finishes off that. What is going on here? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is weird. This is really weird. Love that. Yeah, this time it's not me fucking up. That's cool. So after that little oopsie from some random dude, we are finally into game number 3 of the Metadraft set. It's going to be Stephen for Undefined at the bottom of your screen, and Diagrito for AEG on the top. So that's fun. If Stephen wins this one, we continue on to set number 4, the King of the Hill, but if Diagrito wins, we're done. As it is still match point for AEG. As we have now officially passed the 1 hour mark. Stephen immediately drafting some great utility cards like Poison, Berserker, Little Prince, Diaguito, going for some lighter cards like Dark Goblin, Snowball. Now drafting out the Lightning, another good utility card, and the E-Spirit. So now it's about time that we start eyeballing win conditions. Miner would be a good pick for both of them at this point. Going for Tesla now. And Minions 2. Pretty unassuming pick so far. Diaguito finally picking out a win condition in the form of Miner. Pretty good pick along with the Dark Goblin. Stephen not having any direct Dark Goblin counters, nor are there any in the pool to begin with. So, what the heck, man? Alright, Valkyrie now coming out for Stephen, a very good pick. This deck pool is atrocious if you had to ask me, good lord. And Stephen going for the logical pick, Drill. So it's going to be direct attack versus direct attack, minor versus drill. And a minion horde coming out from KudO. Now, last pick for both players. What will Stephen use to round up his overall pretty good drill deck? And as I was about to say, a small spell is a good idea for Stephen, and I'm glad he picked Rage. You know, KudO already has a big and small spell, so maybe not as necessary. Needed something to round out that deck, and he goes for the Ice Golem, which would be good for tanking for the drill. So once again, Stephen for Undefined at the bottom of your screen, KudO for AEG on the top. Minor coming up for KudO first thing. Match point for AEG. Stephen needs to win if this game is to continue.
Doing it for the fam.
As a snowball comes out to slow down the little prince, allowing the Dark Goblin to get some value on him before the minions take him out. E-Spirit gonna do a good job of making sure the tower finishes off the minions. Minor Minion Horde now coming out. Minion Horde coming down just a second too early. Minor not tanking for them as much. Defensive Poison needed to come out, but just under 1,000 damage done by KudO in that push. But now you can see the difference in Elixir now. Stephen slightly ahead, can punish. Dark Goblin coming out to support the Skeleton King and get taken out. Everything is going to get taken out by that Valkyrie. Ice Golem kiting, Minor defending, KudO just doing everything right here. But is behind on Elixir, so Stephen's Elixir lead is only growing. So he can really use that and make a big punishment play. Should he choose to do that, probably will play a drill at 10. And indeed, that's exactly what he does. And I'm expecting a poison to come out. No. Instead, the Skeleton Chain will perfectly defend all that. Again, for neutral Elixir, Stephen can punish again. And I'm gonna see a defensive poison here. Yep, indeed, we do. Minion Horde is a bit unnecessary if you ask me. Perfect Ice Golem deploy though. Gonna pick up that Tesla and allow the Dark Goblin to take it out. Forcing out a Valkyrie. Minor on the back of the tower, not gonna get picked up by anything, and do a little bit more chip damage. Proactive Skeleton King in the back. Mans is just baiting out insane spell value. And with 30 seconds remaining in regulation, a poison is going to get wasted on that Dark Goblin, which means we might see an unpunished Minion Horde shortly, as KudO's lead continues to expand, with only 13 seconds remaining in regulation time. A good snowball going to slow down that little prince, allowing the Dark Goblin to take it out. Poison not going to take out the Minion Horde, but will dispatch the Dark Goblin. No Skeleton Chain ability. That would have been pretty cool if he'd used it. Maybe force out the Valkyrie. That way Dark Goblin can go unpunished later on. Instead the Valkyrie can help defend against the Horde. Little Prince gonna walk away before he's supposed to, allowing that minor minions push to get even more damage on Stephen's tower. Again, Stephen has to win this, or else AEG is gonna walk away with the 3-0 victory. Chulo's effort going to waste in that scenario. Huge defensive poison value by Stephen. And a questionable Skeleton Chain ability directly into an active poison. Probably not the best use of 2 Elixir if you had to ask me. But it's but a minor setback. Minion Horde goes directly into Little Prince's face. Rage, gonna bring those minions down to 1 shot. Snowball to slow down the defenses. Minor's gonna get a bunch more damage on that left-hand tower. Again, match point for KudO here. He might take it for his team. Only 38 seconds remaining in overtime. Holy cow. "20 seconds. All KudO has to do now is defend. But a miner comes out anyway. Drill on the tower. Rage on the drill, not gonna be enough. There goes a poison, not gonna do nearly enough damage. 197 is all that remains. That's lightning range. As AEG will win the entire match and move forward to the upper bracket finals. Overall, a very dominant performance by AEG today, with a decisive victory against Undefined, and they're going to find themselves in the finals of the upper bracket, with Undefined only winning one game. So now I want to show you what the bracket looks like now before we sign off here. So now AEG will be the first team in the undefeated finals and the overall semifinals. If AEG wins whoever wins the Wii Sports No Mercy match, they will find themselves in the grand final. Meanwhile, Undefined and CMG are going to be knocked down to elimination at round 2 to face against Enosis, who won the previous elimination match yesterday. So now there are going to be 2 matches tomorrow, Wii Sports versus No Mercy in the undefeated bracket, as well as Stormbreaker TCF versus Crispy Poon in the elimination bracket. We might stream them, we might not. We'll see how my availability goes. But as it stands right now, thank you so much for coming by and watching the broadcast. We don't have enough viewers to justify a raid today, so we're just going to kill the broadcast here. So, peace out, and we will see you next time. Aloha, ahui ho.